Hello everyone. In this video, I will be solving few more questions from exercise 10.4. Question number 1 and 2 we have already done, and I have taken here question number 3. And the question is, if a unit vector A makes an angle pi by 3 with I, pi by 4 with J, and an acute angle theta with K, then find theta and hence components of A. So here, according to the question, we have to find the three components of A vector and the theta. So let us denote the three components of A vector by A1, A2, A3, so that we can write A vector equals to A1I plus A2J plus A3K. Now here in the question, angle is given. So this vector A makes an angle pi by 3 with I. So here we use the formula related to direction cosines. From the formula direction cosines, cos alpha equals to x component of A vector divided by the magnitude of A vector. So here x component is A1, so A1 by magnitude of A vector. So this alpha, which is the angle, is given pi by 3. So replacing the value here, cos alpha is pi by 3 equals to A1 by this A vector is a unit vector, is already given in the question. So a unit vector means its magnitude will be 1. So from here we will get A1 equals to 1 by 2. Now similarly, beta value is pi by 4. Then cos beta equals to y component is A2 divided by magnitude of A vector. So this beta equals to pi by 4. So replacing the value here, cos pi by 4 equals to A2 by 1. So cos pi by 4, which is cos 45 degree, is 1 by root 2. Therefore A2 equals to 1 by root 2. Now similarly, the third angle is not given, but here it is said that it is an acute angle theta. So cos gamma equals to A3 by magnitude of A vector. So gamma here is theta, and replacing the value we will get A3 equals to cos theta. Now in the question it is said that A vector is a unit vector, so its magnitude will be 1. The formula for the magnitude of A vector is given by under root A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square. So right hand side there is 1. Now here we put the value of A1, A2 and A3, which we have obtained earlier. So A1 is 1 by 2, A2 is 1 by root 2 and A3 is cos theta. So after replacing the value and taking this square root symbol to the right hand side, it will be square. And after simplification here, we will get cos square theta equals to 1 by 4. So this 1 by 4 can be rewritten as 1 by 2 whole square, and the square from right hand side and this square will get cancelled, and then we will get cos theta equals to 1 by 2. But in the right hand side there is 1 by 2. So in terms of angle, so cos 60 degree is half. So in place of 1 by 2 we can write cos 60 degree. So 60 degree is pi by 3. So in the left hand side cos theta, in the right hand side instead of this half we can write cos pi by 3. So which means half only. So while comparing the angle here, we get theta equals to pi by 3. So we have got the value for theta and the value for the three components also. So we can write the answer. Hence theta equals to pi by 3, so which we have obtained here. And the three components of A vector is A1 is 1 by 2 and A2 we have got 1 by root 2. And if you put theta equals to pi by 3 in that A3 equation, cos pi by 3 equals to A3, then A3 will be 1 by 2. So this is the answer for question number 3. Question number 4 and 5 we have already done, and now question number 6. Given that the dot product of A with B equals to 0 and cross product of A with B equals to 0 vector, what can you conclude about the vectors A and vector B? So these are the two given. Now first let us analyze A dot B equals to 0. So under what condition the dot product of two vector will be 0? As we already know that the formula for dot product is A dot B equals to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. So this dot product will be 0 when either A vector is a 0 vector or B vector is a 0 vector or both of them are 0 vector. So the first condition here is either magnitude of A equals to 0 or magnitude of B equals to 0. Now the second condition is when theta equals to 90 degree. So 90 degree means A and B are perpendicular to each other. So also when theta equals to 90 degree or A and B vector are perpendicular, then dot product of two vector will be 0. So that we can write A and B are perpendicular to each other. Now from the second given, cross product equals to 0 vector. So let us see when the cross product of two vector will be 0 vector. So according to the formula of cross product, A cross B equals to magnitude of A into magnitude of B sin theta n cap. So this n cap is the unit vector. Now here also whenever the magnitude of A or the magnitude of B or the magnitude of both A and B will be 0, then the cross product will be 0. So the first we can write here is either magnitude of A equals to 0 or magnitude of B equals to 0, then cross product will be 0 vector. And the second here, there is a sin theta. So whenever theta equals to 0 degree, that means sin 0 is 0. So at that time also the cross product will be 0. The second here we can write is 0 means the angle between A and B is 0 degree. So that means they are parallel to each other. The second is when A vector and B vector are parallel to each other, then also the cross product will be 0 vector because the angle between them is 0 and sin theta will be 0. Now the contradiction part that we can see here is from dot product we get A and B vector are perpendicular, and from the cross product we get A and B are parallel vector. But A and B vector cannot be parallel and perpendicular at the same time. So this second point is rejected. Now the valid reason will be either magnitude of A equals to 0 or magnitude of B equals to 0. So both cross product and dot product will be 0 when either A vector will be 0 vector or B vector will be 0 vector. Now let me solve question number 8, and the question is if either A vector equals to 0 vector or B vector equals to 0 vector, then the cross product of A with B will be 0 vector. Is the converse true? Justify your answer with an example. So according to question, if either of A or B is a 0 vector, then the cross product of A with B will be 0 vector. But here we need to justify whether the opposite of this statement is true or not. So that means if the cross product between the two vector is 0 vector, then that implies whether the A vector will be 0 or B vector will be always 0 or not. So let us start with A cross B equals to 0 vector. Now the formula related to the cross product is A cross B equals to magnitude of A into magnitude of B sin theta, and this is a unit vector. Now when theta equals to 0 degree, then the cross product will be 0 because sin 0 is 0. So right hand side will be 0 and A cross B will be 0. So theta equals to 0 means the A and B vector will be parallel to each other. So here we need to write two parallel vectors which are non-zero vectors. So let me write any two parallel vectors as A equals to I plus j plus k and B equals to 2I plus 2j plus 2k. So to write any two parallel vectors, so first we assume any vector like A equals to I plus j plus k, and there in the right hand side we multiply by any number which is scalar like 2, 3, 4 throughout, and that after multiplying we will get another vector. That vector will be parallel to the previous vector. So these A and B vectors are parallel. So first let us prove. We try to find the cross product between A and B, whether it will be zero vector or not. The cross product between A and B will be here I, j, k, then the scalar component of A, so which is 1, 1, 1, and the scalar component of B, which are 2, 2, and 2. Then after simplification here, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2, 2 minus 2. So it will be 0 vector. Now we're gonna prove whether the magnitude of A vector or magnitude of B vector is 0 or not. So our A is here. So magnitude of A will be under root this 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So which is under root 3. So this implies that A vector is not a 0 vector, because here we have got non-zero magnitude of A, and similarly we find the magnitude of B vector. So magnitude of B vector is under root 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square, which is under root 12. So this is also not 0. So this implies that B vector is also not 0 vector. So from here what we can conclude is that even though the cross product between A and B is 0, but it always not possible that A vector and B vector will be a 0 vector. Hence, the converse of the given statement need not be true. So this is how we solve question number 8. Now let me solve this question number 9. The question is, find the area of the triangle whose vertices are A 1, 1, 2, B 2, 3, 5, and C 1, 5, 5. The formula related to the area of triangle I have already given you, which is area of triangle equals to half within modulus A vector cross B vector. So here first we have to find out the side AB, that is AB vector, and then we find BC vector, and then we find the cross product between AB vector and BC vector, and at last we find the magnitude and multiply by half to get the area of the triangle. So first let me find AB vector. So AB vector equals to 2 minus 1 I plus 3 minus 1 j plus 5 minus 2 k. So which will be I plus 2j plus 3k. Now similarly let me find BC vector. So BC vector here is this 1 minus 2 I plus 5 minus 3 j plus 5 minus 5 k. So this will be 0. BC vector equals to this minus I plus 2j. Now let us find cross product between AB with BC. So within determinant the elements will be ijk, and then these are the scalar component of AB vector, which is 1, 2, and 3, and here will be the scalar component of BC vector. So here for I there is minus 1, and for j it is 2, and there is no k here, so we write 0. Then after simplification, we'll get minus 6i minus 3j plus 4k. So this is the cross product between AB vector and BC vector. Now we have already got the cross product between AB and BC vector. So we find the magnitude. So magnitude of AB vector cross BC vector equals to under root this minus 6 whole square plus minus 3 whole square plus 4 square. So which will be under root 61. Now we use the formula area of triangle equals to half into magnitude of AB vector cross BC vector. So which is half into under root 61. Therefore, the area of triangle equals to under root 61 divided by 2 square units. So this is how we find the area of triangle. So it is very simple. Now similarly in question number 10, we need to find the area of parallelogram whose adjacent sides are determined by the vector A, I minus j plus 3k and B vector equals to 2i minus 7j plus k. So formula related to the area of parallelogram also I have given you. So area of parallelogram equals to cross product of A with B vector. So which represents the two sides of the parallelogram. So here we directly find the cross product between A and B vector. So which will be given by I, j, k, and here the scalar components of A vector 1, minus 1 and 3, and here scalar components of B vector 2, minus 7 and 1. So after simplification, we will get 20i plus 5j minus 5k. So now we need to find the magnitude of this A cross B vector. So magnitude will be given by under root this 20 square plus 5 square plus minus 5 whole square. So it will be 15 under root 2. So which is the area of the parallelogram. So at last we write the conclusion as therefore the area of parallelogram equals to 15 under root 2 square units. So this is how we find the area of parallelogram.